Let's make some bar stools just to have them for our island. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. We're going to take a look at SketchUp, of course. Here we are in SketchUp. I'm going to put a little seat together right here, say 18 inches square, comma 18, and I'm going to push pull that up, say 2 inches. Now I could do something kind of interesting with a 2-point arc across the front of that. I could measure this, but I don't want to bore you to tears with watching me do all that stuff, so I'll just show you quickly a couple of nice little tricks. Push, pull, and bazoink, now I've got that shape, which I think will work pretty well for my seat. Triple click on that to select it. I think what I'll do is actually make a group out of that seat. I won't be using multiple versions of the seat, I only have one, but it would be nice to have that protected. So now I've got it in a box. Move tool, I'm going to fly that up in the air on the blue axis, 30 inches. So it's maybe worth it. Maybe you have a bar stool laying around the house that you can go measure and say, how high would that normally be? If your counter's at 36 and you're sitting on a bar stool, you want to have room for your thighs to go under the bar to the edge of your counter right there. We're going to put some legs on the bottom of this thing. I'm going to migrate to the bottom of this bar stool. What I'd like to do is put a square right in the corner, doink and doink, and say I'm going to make that 2 inches square. So now I've got that made, and I'm going to pull that down, push pull tool, 30 inches, same 30 inches. So now I've got that standing on the ground. Now I want to edit this later. I want to taper the leg and make it look a little more elegant. We could do very simple things like this. We could just build this, but I'll show you some cool things. But what I'm going to do is triple click on that. That's why it's so important. We saved the seat as a group, right? Now when I triple click on the leg, it doesn't also select the seat. So I'm going to control click that, make it a component and call it a leg. This is important because anything I do to this leg changes all the legs. And of course, I probably want 4. It would be hard to sit on a stool with one leg. Okay, but what I want to do is rotate those legs into place. What I'm going to do is find the midpoint here and then come back this way. Notice it's giving me the inference point and the midpoint here, and it says you must want to go to the spot where those two meet. And I do. I'm going to also, I've got my rotate tool. I'm also going to tap my option key to get the plus sign. So now I'm going to get more than just one. It's going to clone it and put it into place. And then when I rotate that and then click and say, yup, that's where I want it, 90 degrees. And then I'm going to say times 3. Doink. How cool is that? So in other words, anytime you do one thing, if you just say times that, do it again, it'll do it again. And then if I wanted to do something silly like make a place for you to put your feet when you're sitting here, watch this. You're going to flip. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. I've opened up the leg. I double clicked on the leg to open it up so I can play with it. I'm going to draw just a little square. It tells me it's a square or golden section or whatever. Square. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is push pull that. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Whoop. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? So because it's a component, it's going to make a change to every single leg, adding that little rung on the bottom. I told you you're going to flip. And then what we could do is make a back to this thing that will be slightly more comfortable. I'm going to put a rectangle tool on the back of this thing. Let me just get in here in a place where I can kind of see what the heck I'm doing. You can see I didn't quite put my seat on there square, but I'm not getting marked on this thing, right? Am I getting marked on this thing? On edge and group, and I'm drawing this in space. I'm not drawing it as part of the seat. I'm leaving the seat by itself. Pull that up, say, I don't know, 15 inches, something like that. Sounds about right. And then I think what I'll do is grab that, clone it, move tool, option, give me another one, move it on that red axis, on the green axis rather. And I should have grabbed it by, let me just do that again. I'm going to grab that, I'm going to move it, but I'm going to grab it by this bottom edge, that bottom endpoint. See that? So then I can snap it to there, and it knows that it should snap hard to that one spot. and then I can put um, pieces across the back here to make the rungs of that thing. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not even going to bother doing that because you'll see what I'm doing. But then once I got the whole back built, I'm going to grab this just like that. All I've got are the back pieces, not the seat, not the legs. And then I'm going to get my rotate tool and snap it onto here and say, let's relax a little bit. Knock that back maybe 6 degrees or something like that. 6, and then move tool and push it down, whoop, down on the blue axis. There we go, until it kind of tucks into that, so I don't have any gaps there. And that's probably as hard as it would be. It's pretty good looking for something that we did in a couple of minutes. I'm not going to go through that same process with this one. It's a little more complex, as you can see, but I will show you quickly how you could make that round shape at the bottom. It's kind of a cool trick. Basically, what you're doing is saying, I want to create a follow me, right? So I'm going to make a 2-point arc in space. I'm going to make it go vertically. So I'm going to make it go up like this. There we go, kind of like that, and then pull that down. And then I'm going to use my pencil tool to go down here to that center spot and out here to that thing. I've now got a solid shape. It has to be closed and it has to be coplanar, just like that. And then follow me tool, path, tool, shape. Path, tool, shape. Sweet, eh? So I thought you'd get a kick out of that. Anyway, those are some of the ways that you can make pieces and parts for bar stools in SketchUp. I look forward to seeing what amazing things you make for your project too. See you later.